livestock auctions have been unusually busy. As grazing lands dried up, cattlemen like Ashley Nolan have been selling their livestock earlier in the season and at a younger age than normal.
Rusty 71. Rusty 71.
It's been tough. We've sold pretty much all of our herd throughout the summer, little by little, waiting on the rain, and it never came.
In fact, just 1/5 the normal amount of rain and snow have fallen this year in the North Texas ranching communities near Lubbock. Rancher Rick Kellison says it's the worst he's ever seen.
I was arrogant enough to say that I had been through some droughts before. I'm over 60. I hadn't.
The drought has forced Kellison to cut his herd nearly in half. As grazing land has dried up, hay prices have shot up to 5 times their normal price. That has Kellison looking for alternatives.
So it's gin trash, cotton burrs, some cotton limbs.
But even these normally cheap byproducts of cotton processing used for feed cost 10 or more times as much because the drought has devastated the region's cotton crop too. Kellison has spent more than a decade breeding these cows to produce more meat with less feed. Now, the fruits of his labor are in jeopardy.
When we take this cow herd and I have to liquidate a 5 or 6 year old cow that's in her prime, I've sold my factory.
Kellison says some in his situation are getting out of the business.
If you just look at the numbers and there's no emotions involved, the thing to do is sell out and punt.
But for Kellison, there are emotions involved.
Most of these cows got names. They're what we take care of first.
The cattle mean a lot to him and his family, so he says he is holding on for now. The good news for Texas ranchers is that their cattle are still getting fairly good prices at auction despite the glut on the market. That is helping many cattlemen get through the drought. The bad news for consumers is that the rapidly shrinking beef herd means prices will likely be going up, and that herd will take years to rebuild. But that's not all.
The fear I have is it's not over yet, and we don't know when it'll be over.
The La Nina weather pattern that contributed to this year's drought appears to be back for another year. And Texas weather officials say drier than normal weather could last for a decade or more. A drought that has already cost the state's farmers and ranchers more than $5 billion is not through with them yet. Steve Baragona, VOA News.
Are you ready? Do you have what it takes to not only survive hard times, but also thrive in them? In times like these, the most valuable currency we have is food and food reserves. It is more precious than gold, oil, and cash. Food is our greatest dependency, because when you're hungry, nothing else matters. You know it, and I know it. You can't control earthquakes, floods, or the real estate meltdown, but if you have food, you have personal solutions to how these things affect you. Register right here, right now, and order your 6 free meals so you can truly discover what the currency of the future and your freedom taste like.